Good evening, and this is Brijesh Darmia from Masterstroke. Thank you so much. Today is Saturday, 22nd of July, 6 p.m. And the topic today is how to convert prospects into client. In my opinion, this is the second biggest challenge in the mutual fund industry for mutual fund distributors. How to convert clients into prospects into clients. The first challenge is how to get the names of people whom to meet. When you take ARN code, you don't know whom to meet. This is the biggest challenge, how to find people whom to meet. And we have spoken about this in earlier programs. But today, the second biggest challenge, you have so many names and you meet so many people, but many of them are not investing with you. Why? And I will try to cover that in the next 10, 12 minutes about how you can convince the prospect to be converted into clients. I will run a presentation of 4 pages, and by the end of the program, you will get a broadcast message of this presentation, which you can keep as a reminder of yours when you meet any new client. We have done this broadcast a couple of months back also, but to refresh you, we'll send you the broadcast again. So let me share the presentation. All right. So this is in the PDF form, and I will go ahead with this. How to convert prospects into client. You see, all you have to do, let's talk about the game of cricket. It's all about the average. What is your run rate? What is your average score? So you are meeting a lot of people, but you have to convert a lot of them into customers, clients. The ideal hit rate in our industry, which I recommend, should be 66% after 2 to 3 years. Overall, if you're able to convert 40 to 50% of your clients, which means that every 2.5, 3 clients you meet, you need to convert one to start investing with you. And how you should do this, I will run into this presentation. The first thing is that you should use any of the following 5 powerful statements as required. This is very, very powerful. You can choose, and you can get this broadcast on your WhatsApp after this presentation. So I have used this particular a lot in my life. I may not be the best and the biggest, but I will be the best and most meaningful for you. And if you like this, please do keep sharing in the chat box. I may not be the best and the biggest, but I will be the best and most meaningful for you. When you meet a prospect, this is a very powerful statement which you should make. The second is, the returns are not guaranteed, but I will guarantee you one thing. I will protect your interest at all points of time. These are very powerful statements which you should make to the prospect the first time you meet them. Okay. Mileage depends on the driver more than the car. Returns are dependent upon investors' own behavior. Returns are provided by the market, not me. I like to focus on risk management because that is where I have some control. And the 5th most powerful statement you can make to the client. I will recommend what I buy for myself. Isn't this beautiful? So these are the first thing that you should do when you meet a client. You should remember by heart one of these or 2 of these statements, and you should talk to all your clients about this. The second thing that you have to do is to propose 3 to 4 ideas, solid ideas, not just funds. Do not overload with 20 things. Just think about 3 to 4 ideas as per the client profile, and then you should remember and propose only 3 or 4 solid ideas, because if you propose more than 3 or 4 ideas, the client will get confused. What are these 3 or 4 ideas? I will tell you. The first, of course, all of you are doing this. Give them a SIP proposal and go to the client along with a digital presentation or a physical presentation of 25,000 rupees per month. And you can always have a separate copy of 50,000 and 1 lakh also, because when you get in contact with the client and you feel that the client is worthy of investing more, you can immediately change the proposal from 25,000 to 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees. Remember, this is important. Keep SIP duration at 20 years. not 30, 40, 50, and not 5 and 10, because in 5 and 10 years, compounding will not happen. And 30, 40 years, client will not be able to relate that itna lamba laga ke kya karenge. Along with the SIP proposal of regular investment of 20 years, propose a limited period SIP proposal from Masterstroke. Keep fund value after 20 years, same as normal SIP. And this works like a life insurance industry where they sell limited premium product. And that is why a lot of ULIPs are sold, because they have to pay only for 5 years. So you should have a limited period SIP proposal for 5 years. Keep the fund value same of 20 years as you are doing here for a 20-year regular SIP. Client will show a lot of interest in limited period SIP over long-term SIP. Friends, the idea is that a lot of mutual fund distributors, bankers, national distributors are meeting the client, and they're all proposing the same thing. You have to be different. And what difference you should do? As along with SIP, you add limited period SIP in the proposal to the client, because very few people are advising, suggesting clients limited period SIP along with this, and people will get converted. Second, bank FD versus debt funds post-trade, we will ignore because this was earlier, but still it makes a lot of sense. There are a lot of AMCs which are coming out with innovative products with arbitrage and other things where still you get long-term indexation benefits. Another aspect that you should cover is very, very powerful and undersold in the system, systematic transfer plan. Now, systematic transfer plan, most MFDs sell for 6 months. They use it for putting money from debt to equity over 6 months. So that is not called systematic transfer plan. Systematic transfer plan means that you have to take money in debt funds for 15, 20 years. Most investors want principal to be safe. Propose long-term STP investment. Very few MFDs are proposing STP in the first meeting with the client. What is the requirement of the client? Please understand. Please read these things very, very carefully. When you meet a new prospect, the first thing he wants from you is high safety of principal. The second thing he wants is the potential of higher returns than fixed deposits. Lower taxes, anytime liquidity of capital, minimum amount is 5,000. And you can top up the investment anytime, can do partial withdrawal anytime, can book profits when markets are high, and no maturity date. When you talk about these 9 features of STP, the client will get convinced. Friends, please understand, you have to be different in the first meeting, because today mutual funds are known to everyone. SIP is a commodity today. If you go to a client that I will sell you SIP, everybody's doing SIP. How do you convince that client to invest with you? You have to give them something different. Okay. So propose STP, and in STP you can propose a 10 lakh proposal and a 50 lakh proposal. Keep 2 proposals with yourself and tell the client, I can give you a suggestion where you have high safety of principal, potential of high return, blah, 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 lower taxes, anytime liquidity, minimum amount. Try this and the client will get convinced. Another proposal that you should give, and this can be applicable from anyone from 20 years to 50 years of age profile. SIP today and SWP tomorrow. Every single person today in the country is thinking about retirement, because it's the concept of joint family is going away. Single family is on the rise, and everybody is concerned about their retirement. Most are self-employed. Almost every investor is concerned about retirement. So you tell them that, you give me a 10-year SIP or a 30-year SIP, and I will plan your retirement, and your retirement is taken care of. It is so powerful, and you can get these proposals through Masterstroke presentations and calculators. For any age, you can propose SIP till age 60 and then SWP thereafter. In every single meeting, you should propose this to a new client. Everyone is concerned about retirement. And when you show them that, okay, you are 35 years of age, you do SIP for 25 years, maybe 10, 20,000 only, then also you will generate a very high amount of corpus, and they will feel satisfied. They will feel, their need of long-term planning is covered. And then you can top it up with a proposal of limited period SIP that, okay, you are at 40 years of age, you invest till 50, and then you hold on till 60 years of age, and then I will give you SWP for rest of your life. This is very, very powerful. Touch upon this SIP today, SWP concept. Then you should talk about, depending upon the client, very different ideas. For example, model portfolio. Prepare a couple of model portfolios, SIP and lump sum from Masterstroke. This multi-page attractive proposal gives confidence to the client and becomes an engagement tool for discussion. Nobody is talking about recover your home loan SIPs. Maybe 30 to 40% of the new prospects that you meet either are thinking about taking a home loan or already have a running home loan. Tell them how they can recover their principal and interest by investing through SIP. You can print brilliant proposals from Masterstroke, where you can tell them that if you have a 1 crore loan, if you invest 14,000, 18,000, 20,000 rupees SIP along with your EMIs, which is around 16% to 26% of your EMI, you can recover the entire amount. This is undersold in the market. You should have this presentation in your laptop, iPad, mobile phones, or physical copy in every single client meeting. You should have sovereign gold bond in your sales list. Very few people are selling sovereign gold bond. Every single individual in India is interested in gold. You give them a solution of gold. Even if you don't like gold, give them sovereign gold bond option. Okay, because sovereign gold bond gives 2.5% interest. Nobody knows this. Very few people know this. And it is tax-free at maturity. Propose sovereign gold bond. Friends, please understand. The idea in the first meeting is to convert a client, and your only objective in the first meeting with the client is to secure the second meeting, is to secure a second phone call so that you can be in touch with the client. If you give one proposal and you come back and the client says, I will get back to you, he will never get back. So you should leave something on the table to him to consider. And if you offer sovereign gold bond, maybe after 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, when he hears about sovereign gold bond, he will come back to you because you are dealing in sovereign gold bond. Forget about how much business you get. Forget about whether you get 10 lakhs rupees or 1 crore rupees. Get the client signed some check with you in the first meeting or the second meeting. Talk about national pension system. It is unbelievable. I have been selling and recommending national pension system to my clients for last 5 years. Nobody knows it, and there is no commission in this, and so people don't sell this. So as a mutual fund distributor, you may be thinking, why should I sell this? Because national pension system, I don't get a commission, but you are getting a client. It is brilliant. It is the Government of India initiative. It is tax-free for the person investing and tax-free for the company who is investing on behalf of the employee. It is all deferred taxation, and you get 60% tax-free withdrawals at retirement. It is brilliant. Nobody knows about this. I have converted so many clients in the first meeting just by using national pension system. And you should offer 2 products here: individual investment, which is which you get tax deduction up to 50,000, and corporate NPS. I don't have time to talk about corporate NPS here, but this is a brilliant way to convince the client. Talk about Sukanya. So when you meet a new client, ask him, do you have a daughter? Do you have a kid, a girl child in your family up to 10 years of age? If he or she says yes, it's a very emotional investment that you tell them you can invest up to 1.5 lakh rupees in Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, completely tax-free for the benefit of the girl child. Yes, the commissions are very low. There may be some effort, but you will get a client. Nobody is selling Sukanya Samriddhi scheme. All of you are busy selling mutual funds. I agree, and that is the best. But clients will invest in mutual funds with you if they become a client of yours. So in the first meeting, to convert a prospect into client, you have to use National Pension System, Sukanya, Senior Citizen Savings Scheme. You get no commissions up to 30 lakhs, I guess. And every senior citizen gets I think right now the rates are around 8%. Where do you get 8%? This will always be more than bank FDs and debt funds. And sometimes we think we will do it through SWP or balance advantage funds. Yes, I agree they can give better return, but the client is looking for safety. In the first meeting, when you tell a senior citizen or the head of the family that you can invest in senior citizen for your mother, father, grandparents, they will like your suggestion and advice. They will become your client. And once you have them client in senior citizen, then you can sell your SIPs and STPs and mutual funds. So I think there's so many things. And finally, top-up health policy. Talk about top-up health policy. It's such a powerful product. So you see, in this presentation, I have not talked about mutual funds. I've talked about specifics. For example, limited period SIPs. I've talked about top-up policy, international health policy. These things are not spoken to a prospect in today's time. When I started my mutual fund career, I used to sell mutual funds and SIP. Today, everybody is investing in mutual funds. Everybody is investing in SIP. Where will you get new clients? But the same client, if you want to have you as your as a mutual fund distributor, so that tomorrow that you can get their mutual fund investments, you have to start with these products. Then you can have ready-made portfolio depending upon the prospect. You can have so many ready-made portfolio from Masterstroke, print them and give them specific ready-made presentations that you can do this. You can SIP for child education, vacation expenses, wealth creation through SIP, STP, FD versus debt fund. All these ready-made proposals are there in the Masterstroke section. And finally, in the mutual fund distribution business, being fully prepared before the meeting is the key. So I will quickly run you through what I've told you, how to convince prospects into client into this meeting. And then we will have Karthik to talk about Cons Fund. Use a powerful statement, any of these 5 or maybe 2 of them. Propose 3 to 4 solid ideas. So I've given you 10, 15 ideas. You can propose only 3 to 4 ideas in the first meeting. So SIP proposal with a limited period SIP matchup. Then you can talk about systematic transfer plan. Then you can talk about SIP today and SWP tomorrow. And then a small thing, model portfolio, home loan recovery through SIPs, sovereign gold bond, national pension system, Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, senior citizen savings scheme, top-up health policy and international policy, ready-made proposal from Masterstroke. Being fully prepared before the meeting is the key for a successful conversion from the client. Let me know how you like this presentation, and I will stop the recording here. Thank you so much.